Who is this man currently in the White House, and why does he look so different from the man 10 years ago is one question among many that a growing number of people are asking as a catalyst to their journey in finding out what's really going on behind the scenes. Now, more and more people believe that something is off about the government and what they're telling us, and that there's some kind of acting going.
Yeah. More and more people are convinced that something is off with Chris Yoon. Chris Yoon is a false Trump prophet from way back. Not only did he falsely prophesy that Trump was going to win in 2020, he doubled, tripled, and quadrupled down on those false prophecies. He does not have a known prophecy that he's actually given that actually came to pass. A number of weeks ago, he came out trying to save his failing personal business, his private personal business, with a grift for his subscribers on his YouTube channel to support him on GoFundMe with a $77,700 fundraising drive. And he has switched channels. He has switched gears from grifting and begging for money to going back to playing the Trump card to give himself financial gain. And it actually worked out in his advantage for his fundraiser. Now let's check out some of the videos that Chris Yoon has been making lately. Chris's viewership has gone remarkably down because of his conspiracy theory, and his channel has been blocked and banned numerous times because he puts out false information, and he pumps out QAnon conspiracy rhetoric. So in order, and this worked out good for him because he went from $15,000 on his fundraiser, his GoFundMe to fund his failing business. He went from $15,000 to $25,000 raised from this video here. I'm going to play just a few minutes of it. He made this video, let's see, I think 9 days ago. Let me look at it. 9 days ago, and it's entitled, "Why Many Believe Trump is Still President and the White Hat Op Overview." I'm not going to play much of this, but this will tell you how unbalanced and unhinged Mr. Chris Yoon is.
All right, what's going on, everybody? So I have a very exciting video for you today. I've been talking about this awakening process, this perception of reality that we live in, and I'm going to do a quick flyby in this video. I'm going to explain the different target audiences and...
Yeah, he's going to do a quick flyby. What do we call that? We call that one flew over the cuckoo's nest. Yeah.
Yes, teach us.
Amen.
Right. Yes.
That's teach us.
Wow.
Impart some real information on us here about reality.
What's really going on if you are able to open your eyes to research and to ask the Lord for discernment in this times. Now, I'm saying this because this channel has focused a lot on prophetic words, on the times. I've, in a sense, been a watchman trying to interpret what's going on. And most notably, I've been talking...
He hasn't actually been a watchman. He's been a wolf. And in every video he's made since November 21st, he's pumped this grift out. He's trying to get $77,700 to bail out his failing personal business. Okay, so he's not a watchman, he's a wolf.
Since Trump, right, ever since the 2020 elections, one of the biggest things that I've said is that Trump will be reelected president and that he would have a second term and that it would happen right now in this term. And people have been thinking, man, what's going on? I thought Trump is president. I thought that what you were saying is true. It didn't happen and blah, 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 right? And so I've told people, man, I really don't know exactly what's going on behind.
Blah, blah, blah equals everything this young grifter has said has not come to pass. Everything he said, God told me this and God told me that, it hasn't come to pass. And reality is it didn't come to pass, but it gets worse.
Behind the scenes, but I've known enough over the last couple of years doing my research to understand that there's more than meets the eye, and that there's what I call this perception of reality. And that what's happening right now is that to those that really research, and this is probably like less than 1% of the population, if you connect the dots.
So there's just less than 1% of the population are incapable of accepting reality as it actually is. Less than 1% of the population are under a strong delusion. Trump is not the president. Joe Biden is.
The clues, the drops, this goes even to Q and what people call.
What did he say? This is what I'm saying. This man claims to be a prophet of God, and that yet he promotes false information, misinformation. He's a misinformation prophet.
The dots, the clues, the drops, this goes even to Q and what people call QAnon and all this stuff. If you really dig deep there, then you will find certain answers, and you will believe what
you will find answers if you dig deep into these deep state conspiracy organizations. It's not directing people to God, not directing people to the Holy Spirit, not directing people to people who are led by the Spirit. This man is a horrible charlatan, a wolf who's riding a political bandwagon. Let me tell you what this video got. And Chris's videos have been getting less than 10,000 views each. This Trump video here got 160,000 views. And these combined two videos I'm going to share with you, he went from 198,000 subscribers to 204. He gained 6,000 subscribers in the last 10 days by playing the Trump card. Man, this guy is an expert charlatan. So let's go back to this video, because yeah, that's a whole lot. No, let me go back to this. I'll try to go forward. See, he's got a whole PowerPoint presentation where he shows who the audiences are that this. He's like, you're watching a movie is the thumbnail for this video, where he said many believe Trump is still president. He's acting like everything going on is just a staged act by the deep state. So he's got audience one normalized, the normies. He calls them normies. If you just look at reality and see what reality actually is, and you don't make up a false narrative. Audience two is the awakened, and audience three, of course, which is Chris Yoon and his Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs audience, are the enlightened ones. Let's see. So look at this. Information and misinformation conspiracy. I mean, he went into this detailed PowerPoint. Look at this. This is in some insanity here. So he's back to this. I'll tell you what. This guy is off the chart. But the crazy thing is, the truly crazy thing is, 1,600 comments on this. Thank you, Chris, for this. I'm going to post this everywhere I can. It's very lovely when your family and friends are still asleep and you're not. It's very lonely. I'm sorry. This is some small print here. Chris, I'm very young, 74-year-old grandmother, and I'm with you 100%. Oh my gosh. This is horrible, y'all. But all these people are like, oh, I see it too. I see it too. I'm awakened to a delusion. Guess what? You woke up to a delusion. But let's go back to this, because he's been here before. He's been on this crazy before. Let's go take this from the top. No, let me go all the way to the top. Let's take this crazy from the top. And I'm not going to play this whole thing, but he has a thumbnail that says there's a fake Biden and a real Biden. Let me speed this up. No, I'm going to leave it normal for now. Whew. This is for the normies.
This man currently in the White House, and why does he look so different from the man 10 years ago is one. Who is this man currently in the White House, and why does he look so different from the man 10 years ago is one question among many that a growing number of people are asking as a catalyst to their journey in finding out what's really going on behind the scenes. Now, more and more people believe that something is off about the government and what they're telling us, and that there's some kind of acting going on in politics and in the news today because the ridiculousness is so exaggerated that it cannot be real, and it's allowing people an entry point or a trigger point to question and go deeper into this quote unquote realm of conspiracy. And so in this video, I'm going to talk about the next question you should really be asking if you've already realized that Biden and this guy is not the real guy from 10 years ago.
I gotta have some laughter here, y'all, because this is Cooper Cocoa Puffs. Biden's been replaced. Let's hear it again.
That Biden and this guy is not the real guy from 10 years ago, which is this a white hat operation or is this a black hat operation? And so in this video, I'm going to outline the reasoning behind why you may need to use an actor in this current Biden administration, as well as the journey that people are on in terms of the Biden realization. And so in this video that I just recently posted, I talked about why people believe that Trump is the commander in chief. And before you brush things off as, oh, that's loony conspiracy and all this stuff, consider this. They've constantly, Trump and many other quote unquote white hats and good guys, they've been saying that the 2020 election was stolen. If it truly was,
It wasn't stolen. I mean, come on, y'all. Come on, you got to get over this. We've been through this before. We had this with George Bush and, the recount when he was running against the Democratic guy. I can't even think of his name right now. This was misinformation. This is wickedness. This is wickedness to stir people up into this abnormal frenzy and conspiracy.
Was stolen, then this is an act of war by whoever did this. The foreign.
Let me put a disclaimer in here, and I am reviewing this video under fair use, and let me put a disclaimer in here. This man says some extremely disturbing things. This man should be banned. He should be banned. Let's listen to this. He says this is an act of war.
Stolen, then this is an act of war by whoever did this. The foreign adversaries, domestic terrorists, whatever you want to call it. If this truly was an act of stealing the election and giving it to somebody else, then Trump had the right and the obligation to protect the continuity of the United States. And whatever he did, writing peds, right?
Oh, now I remember. Al Gore, George Bush. Okay. The recount. It's been done before. It's been done by the other side. It's been done by this side. All right. But to try to create this fear that an outside government organization is controlling our elections and to throw unverified shade on our electoral process to get people to do things out of fear, this is wicked. This is what causes people to do some crazy stuff. And then when you put in the comments he's putting in here, yeah, you could whip somebody up into doing something even worse than what we've seen so far.
Writing executive orders, installing the military and the devolution, the idea of devolving the government to military generals temporarily, or suspending the Constitution, suspending the election to another cycle as they're cleaning up, they're rounding up people, giving military tribunals, whatever it is, whatever this whole operation is.
You hear that? You know what you're doing under military tribunals? Do you know what kind of a state you're talking about having? You're talking about having a fascist state. This dude has some harebrained stuff that, yeah, this is not the United States. This is not democracy. This is not a Christian.
Then logically speaking, Trump had the obligation to do something, and it would not seem far-fetched given the narrative that's already public and very out there which is that the 2020 election was stolen. And if we were attacked,
That's misinformation. Chris Yoon, you should prepare for maybe a permanent banning of your channel. You are a conspiracy theorist. You are part of this nation's problem. You are not part of this nation's solution. And you are not part of anything that's ordained from God to spread this deception.
if you think COVID was a biological weapon, then you have reason to believe that something else is going on behind the scenes, which is different from what the public optics are of what they're saying. Oh yeah, Biden, he's the president, and all these things are going fine and dandy. And so in this video, I'm going to talk about what military generals, high-level people, would have probably have done when they were in the war room thinking about what they need to do next. Because it's not that simple. It's not as shocking as, well, why would they put on a mask in the White House and just trick the whole United States? There's a lower priority of optics, of trying to save face and to make it look good for the public versus something as big as rooting out the evil that exists in the world. And I've talked about this in this awakening journey that people are on. If you don't realize and wake up to the fact that there may be certain conspiracies that are factual, these Luciferian satanic people that are doing evil, wicked things, then you will never cross the line and believe the fact that, okay, maybe the White House is some kind of an acting job so that we can string along society and.
You hear this? This dude is dropping some crazy. Now, the last video I started to show you a clip of, 160,000 views. This view, 123,000 views. So in 2 videos, he's went up 6,000 subscribers, gotten over 250,000 views, and raised $10,000 for his fraudulent business bailout. This is shameful. This is shameful. But if you play the conspiracy theorist and the conservative false prophet bandwagon, there's big money in this.
Let them just believe what they want to believe while we take care of the dirty work behind the scenes, minimizing collateral damage along the way. And so I'm going to outline certain things. The global plan to take down evil, if you really think about it, comes down to 2 plans. And I'm pretty sure that all these military generals and these strategists, they got in a room, they made PowerPoint slides.
They made PowerPoint slides like Chris made here. You made. This is, I don't even know if this was my kid, because he's young enough to be my kid, I would have him committed. Somebody needs to have this dude committed.
And they really thought this through. And I'm going to present it to you as if I was a consultant for this whole plan to take down evil. There's really only two plans at the high level, which is you have an immediate takedown of all the treasonous, evil people, and you have a full, instant public transparency of everything. You tell them what's going on, you do the deed, you go take the top special force guys, you arrest everybody, then you do a military tribunal. Then if they're charged with high treason, you execute them by firing squad.
Did you hear that? Did you hear this dude's plan? This dude is a danger. This dude is a hazard to all nations.
The special force guys, you arrest everybody, then you do a military tribunal. Then if they're charged with high treason, you execute them by firing squad or you hang them. Whatever that looks like, I'll tell you. Okay, well, let me explain the plan B and then we'll go into the details. Plan B is that you have a covert takedown of all these guys, the people that have done the evil, assuming that you've caught them in the act, right? And with a controlled, timed public perception. So what that means is that you just allow it to come out as necessary. You have sealed indictments. You have all these things that are happening. And
I don't know who. This is spooky because the reason why this is spooky, like I said, this video, 123,000 people watch this. 6,800 people like this. This video has 1,500 mostly positive comments for Chris's insanity. And to think that there are people in this world that listen to this and think there's any cohesive logic in it. I truly pity. I truly pity the place we're in. We are in a national and a global mental health breakdown and mental health crisis. This, I don't even know what it is, but I know this is end time stuff right here. What this man doing and others are doing is end times delusion, and it's not of God. So if anybody's in this and you say, I think this guy's bent a little bit too far, I think this is one of the really dull knives in the drawer, I urge you to unsubscribe from him and do not follow him and do not give him another dime. Because when he succeeded in that first video, he doubled down in his crazy in the next video. When people find that this stuff works to make them money and to feed both their ego and their financial resources, it's hard to get them to quit. It's hard to get them to quit. This is Brother Rob Wilson. I hope and pray that this man gets deplatformed, because this is some wicked and evil misinformation that Chris Yoon is putting out there. Grace, peace, and love in Jesus' name. Pray for this man, and pray that the chastisement and discipline of the Lord will come upon him for his own soul's salvation. Amen.